So this behind me, this sweatshirt, caused me a nightmare this week, and it's all down to Unisex Patterns. So I think I need to talk to you about it. This will be Friday sews, I promise. But I have to show you this because it's so exciting for us. We do get snow sometimes, but say February. But we live on the south coast, and we're 15 miles from the sea, so we never get snow. And yet look at this morning. And the hilarious thing is I left all my recording equipment in the bottom of the garden, so I'm having to come out in it, and I must admit I feel like a child right now. So let's go down and get it. Oh, I can even hear that beautiful crunch of snow under my feet. I've even got my wellies on. So yeah, this is exciting for us. If you live anywhere else like Canada, you'll be laughing your socks off. But for us, this is very exciting. So I need to get my recording equipment, and then I'll come back up to you and do proper Friday sews. So welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole. This is my channel, Sew Carole, and it is #Friday sews. I ought to apologise for the snow footage, but it's exciting. You've got to understand it's exciting for us, especially on the south coast of England. To celebrate, I'm wearing my snowflake earrings and this lovely snowflake sweatshirt jumper I made last year using Butterick 6388. I love this. I've made it as a dress, I've made it as a jumper several times. I tried to make this once, but it didn't work out in the fabric I chose. They do show it as a t-shirt. I don't know how that would work really. Never tried the trousers in this, but absolutely love this. It's got this super neat collar where so simple to do. It's almost like just like a roll neck, but it curves down and then crosses over on the front. It's just lovely. It keeps your back of your neck really toasty. So tomorrow it'll be gales and rain, but today I'm enjoying the snow. So as I said in the intro, this simple sweatshirt caused me an utter nightmare this week. Now I chose New Look 6759. Now I should have thought about this. How many times have I said I should have thought a bit more about this? But it did go from size small, so I thought that would be okay, forgetting it's a unisex pattern. So what I did straight away is take the pieces from this and match it up against this. So this is a unisex simplicity pattern, but it goes from an extra small, and I've made this a couple of times, so I knew it fitted. I've got to also bear in mind that it is more slouchy, that sweatshirt, although it doesn't look it in the diagram there. So I took the pieces out and the extra small. So I altered the pieces from small down to extra small because, I mean, all I did really was tuck it in. So I tucked it in so they matched the extra small from the unisex simplicity pattern. So all I did was tuck it in there, and obviously I did the same for I made sure everything was altered in accordance with the difference between the small and extra small. So I thought I was, great thinking, Carole, it's going to be fine. It's enormous on me. I think I took a couple of photos. I think it was only when I really put the sleeves on did I realise just the volume here and the length. Now, I couldn't find any pattern reviews on patternreview.com for this. So I typed into Google and typed it into YouTube, and up came the lovely Diann from Silver Thread Sewing, who had made this. Now she'd made it in a medium, and she had the same as me, that both of us cut off 3 inches off the sleeve length. Now, that wouldn't have been so noticeable for me with this one because it was a raglan sleeve, so that's how I got away with it. But obviously this one, where it's meant to sit on your shoulder, 3 inches, and then obviously it was too wide, and then the cuffs they were too wide anyway. They didn't kind of grip me, and Diann said exactly the same thing. She altered them to make them grip her a bit better. So I've taken in stuff at the sides, I've taken in this bit here, I've re-sewn, I came right in and just re-sewed that to try and get this sitting anywhere near my shoulder. I mean, apart from that, it looks lovely, and I did a awesome job of the stripes. It's in a place where I want it, but for a simple sweatshirt that should have just taken an hour and a half for me to sew, it took a long time. A lot of re-sewing and trimming off and stripping and making the cuffs much smaller. So it was a hard old job, which leads me to talk about unisex patterns. Now, obviously, I'm quite small, so but I thought a small would be fine. But I'm forgetting a small in a unisex pattern is going to be very different to a small in a ladies pattern. It's a small man, isn't it? It's not a small woman, it's a small man. And yet, obviously, I am smaller and I'm narrower here. But I'm not going to go into lots of it, but I will just say a small in a unisex pattern chest is 34 to 36. A small in a ladies pattern bust is 32 to 34. So already you've got 2 inches difference. If I wanted to make an extra small in the ladies pattern, you're looking at a bust of 30 to 31. Well, I'm 34. So it's just all over the shop. And this is why I did look at the finished garment measurements of this, and I was a bit worried because it said 42 inches, which is why straight away I reduced it down. But yeah, I've got to be very careful if I pick up a unisex pattern again to make sure it goes to an extra small, because I'm not an extra small lady, but I'm an extra small man. That's kind of my little moan for the day. But I have ended up with a sweatshirt, and of course I will put a picture in of it. Oh, I have to say, actually, I'm wearing these. Do you remember these jeans I made that I kept on about? They were too stretchy. I'm wearing them again. I wear them so often. Right, what else have I been up to? Well, my latest craze this week has been, do you remember last week I showed you that I bought some pieces of this leatherette? The reason was it was to make a skirt. Now I actually released that video on Tuesday, I think, is I can sew that, where I'd needed just 2 little pieces of leatherette either side to make a felt welt pocket. I'll put the link to that video below, and I'll put a picture in of the skirt. But that's all I needed. But of course, on Amazon, I got all these lovely colours. So I thought, right, I'll have to do something with them. So last week I made a pouch for someone as a gift. All I did, I don't know what size these are, but I just took 2 of these. I embroidered a design on the top one, and I was really pleased because the embroidery machine did really well with that. And then I just sewed them together, lined them, did it properly, bagged it out to make it, and I loved it. So I've got all these lovely pieces left over. So I thought I'll make one for my daughter. And I have this beautiful piglet design because we both absolutely love piglet. And on here I put "You are beautiful" because she needs reminding, because sometimes she can get a bit down. So I thought I'd make that for her. So I used 2 different pinks. I did the proper tabbed zips at the top, so it just makes it so much better. It's definitely worth bothering. And inside I used some of this leftover fabric, Winnie the Pooh fabric that I got from Diann again, I think. So that was fantastic. But I wasn't completely happy because the embroidery slightly missed that there. It was the threading of the machine, so it all got a bit tight there. So I thought, do you know what? I'll make another one, and I'm going to keep this for myself, because last week I was saying, and a lot of you commented back, that when I'm making stuff for myself, I held up this pouch and it was rough. Let's put it that way. It was really rough. And I said, why do I always make something nicer for somebody else and not me? So this is quite nice, apart from that little bit there. So I thought I'm just going to make her another one. And I did. I bagged it out actually, so you can see the size of it properly. But then it's stitched out properly, and we have got the "You are beautiful." I did it exactly the same with the fabric inside. I've stuffed it out for you with spare fabric. So I was really happy. Now I will say that if it was for me, I wouldn't have put "You Are Beautiful" on the bottom. But obviously that was for her, so I would not have to put that, I assure you. I'm having so much fun with these, and now I've got all these ideas. I'm thinking maybe I should just make some more for people for Christmas and just personalising each one, because they don't take very long and they're great fun to do. I've cut out a couple of sweatshirts. So this was this sweatshirt fleece I got in a sale from Beyond the Pink Door back in the summer. I want to make a couple of sweatshirts for the boys for Christmas, and I was using this, it was a made by me pattern, kids sweatshirt. And I was really good because they go from sizes 2 to 10. I was sensible to trace, and it actually led me to thinking, a lot of us say, oh, I trace a pattern, I trace the pattern, but we don't say how we do it, because I know we all do it differently. So in case you were wondering how I trace patterns, and I hate doing it, I must just say, I use, and this is quite old school I think, I use the Burda carbon tracing paper. So you put the pattern paper down, you put this, and then you put the pattern you're tracing on top, and then you roll around the lines. Actually, I'll put a little bit of a clip in or something alongside this. And I use the even ruler, not the, there's a jagged one which I've got which isn't as good, but this one's really good, especially on the carbon paper. And when I use this, I don't know if any of you learnt typing as I did, like this, where you had to do a carbon copy of something, where you had the paper, the carbon copy, and another paper. Oh gosh, how old are we? But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that really. Oh, those were the good old days, weren't they? With a little bell. So yeah, I just thought I would just tell you how I actually trace. When I bother to trace, that's how I do it. I use quite old school, the tracing carbon paper and the wheel. At the weekend, we're going up to see my little granddaughter, and I like to make something to take up with me. So I managed to get hold of this pink sweatshirt fleece, and I want to quickly run up. Now, I haven't made one of these for her before, but my good old pattern, Simplicity 8526. Ignore all this. I use it for the sweatshirt and the joggers. I've used it for the boys all the way through. I've got loads of different sizes all cut out and traced, and so I want to try and make that to take up with me. Today's Thursday morning when I'm filming this, and we're going Saturday morning, so keep fingers crossed I can think what to embroider on it and take up to her. I need to show you something I finally managed to get hold of. Now, ages ago I had some really soft back elastic, and I've got a tiny bit of it left, but I've been on the hunt for this stuff for a long time. The lovely Andra from Andra Makes sent me some similar but wasn't quite as soft, and I love it when I'm making pyjamas. But I've got hold of some slightly wider as well. Now, I don't know how you can see how soft it is. You can see by the lines there how soft it is, but it's, I think, what they call plush backed. It's absolutely beautiful, and it came, I got it eventually from eBay, and it's this company, and it's only a little company because he actually has said on here, welcome, thank you for shopping with me, much appreciated. So he's just asking, he's based in Birmingham, he's a small business and he's got lots of bits and bobs. So he was threadsandtrimmings.co.uk. So I thought I'd give this a mention because this stuff I have looked everywhere for, and I've finally found it. It's super soft, really lovely, this plush back, and I always put that facing the skin, and it's just the best for pyjamas if you ask me. So finally got a whole ream of it, as you can see, and I've kept the bit there so I remember for once where I actually bought something. Now I'm trying to think what I'm going to be sewing next week, and I want to do a few more little gifts. Obviously I probably won't be able to show you, but one of them, I know my daughter doesn't watch my channel anymore, so I don't know if I've showed you this or not, but I got hold of this beautiful soft fleece here. It's like a dressing gown sort of quality, really light, really thin, but of course it's Disney. I forgot all about it. I bought this, so I need to make something for her in it. Probably just be an oversized hoodie or something like that, which I have made before, so I need to use that. It sheds. I have bits all over me right now, but when I was looking for it, I forgot I bought this from the Beyond Pink door as well, and wow, do I need this now. Really cozy. So I'd really like to try and use this up in some kind of jumper. I'm almost thinking like a toaster sweater because it's quite floppy. A lot of the toaster sweaters I've got are out of a sweatshirt fleece, so they stand up here, whereas I think this will make it softer and drape better. Right, I just need to go and get the bit of knitting I've done this week. So last week I was looking through a magazine and I came across, and I'll put the picture in again, of an advent calendar with lots of little knitted hats, obviously 25, 24 hats, with just little chocolates in. And I thought it'd be a lovely idea to make for the grandchildren. So my mum is a fantastic knitter, so she's been on the case knitting a load of hats. She's done about 10, I think, so she's way ahead of me. So I've done a few as well. So I think we're well on course, but I just thought I'd show you. I haven't knitted for a long time, a couple of years, and it is so much fun, and these especially are so simple to do. But I have to show you these little hats. So obviously they hang upside down. So we've got that one, you can see I have been having fun with this. That one. And then two of these longer ones with little bells on the bottom. So the idea is all the hats will be different, but I didn't have a pattern for these, so I kind of decreased when I felt like it. So as you can see, they're very random. That one I decreased a lot more as I was going down. But can you hear that? That's Christmassy. So yeah, so I've got these. My mum's got a load. I managed to get some ribbon that we're going to string them up from, and have all these little elf hats. I forgot how much I love knitting little things. I did crochet one because I used to crochet as well, but I found it was too rigid. It didn't come out as soft and floppy as this. So, I will just show you. Every time I make a pom-pom, I've got those little plastic pom-pom makers, but every time I go to make one, I can never remember how to make one. So I do all the winding and everything, cut it, take it apart. Yeah, guess what happened? I just end up with a load of pieces all over my legs. So good old YouTube. I went on YouTube just to remind myself how to do it properly. But I love making things like that. In my Friday sews last week, I showed my South Bank sweater made out of the Funfetti fabric that's specially made for Beyond the Pink door in Dorset, and they had run out of a lot of colours. My daughter really wanted one in the blue colour, and they'd run out, but they've got it back in. So hopefully they've got it in when I'm filming this for you. If you had a look after the video last week and saw it was out of stock, so they did have some in yesterday, Wednesday, so could all be gone now, but I just thought I'd tell you, let you know it's worth having a look if they do. So I've ordered some of the blue to make her something else. How much am I making her, for goodness sake? I haven't made anything for my son. So on to life, and that's what hashtag Friday Sews is all about, isn't it? It's about the sewing, it's about anything we've bought, but it's also about life. And of course this whole concept was started by the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, who we are forever grateful. Don't forget to check out all the other hashtag Friday Sews, and that's my entertainment for the weekend normally. Forget the television. Just have a look and see what everybody else has been up to in the sewing room, whether it be good, the bad, and the ugly, or the difficult. So this weekend we're going away, as I said, to go and see my granddaughter and my son and his wife, because it was her birthday, so we've got to take some birthday presents up. Last weekend we were away in the holiday home, and we did a very kind of damp walk around some subtropical gardens nearby, and the photos I'm going to put at the end of kind of celebrating autumn colour, I think will be the theme, because obviously it's this time of year. I dread autumn, but then I remember just how beautiful it is with all the colours, and there are the odd flowers around, so that's what the photos I'll put at the end. So that's about it for me for #FridaySews. Yes, my hair has gone back to being dark. It got way too orangey with all the sunshine we had on holiday, and I've had a good chunk taken off it, and it feels a lot better. So darker for winter. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the little bit of snow footage, especially if you live somewhere that you get snow, you know, a lot for months and months, and we're just excited about one day. Have a wonderful weekend and week ahead, and happy sewing. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.